starting goaltenders are brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop's new pumpkin pie white mocha and pumpkin pie white hot chocolates. Carey Lettinen, he will go for Lindy Ruff's Dallas Stars here in downtown Buffalo tonight. And Ryan Miller will continue to play in goal for the Buffalo Sabres. He and Jonas Enroth have really been bright spots as far as the Sabres in the early going this season. This broadcast brought to you in HD by the new Stereo Advantage. Visit the new Stereo Advantage located on Worley Drive behind ECC North. Referees Mike Hasenfratz and Kyle Riemann. And the linesmen are Scott Driscoll and Brian Murphy. And Lindy Ruff looking on from behind the visitors' bench. We'll get used to that, but it'll take a while.
Still looks grumpy, though.
Yeah. I talked to him before the game for a few minutes tonight, and he actually was in a pretty good mood. We renewed acquaintances and talked about family, etc. And I have no idea what we're waiting for now. But whatever it is, we're not ready to go quite yet. I think, though, they're getting the high sign, and now we're ready to go. And from First Niagara Center, the Dallas Stars and the Buffalo Sabres are underway. Zadorov ripped it off the boards. It bubbles its way through center ice, picked up and fired up on the wing, and now sent back into the Dallas zone. Taken away by Goligoski. He got it up on the wing. That'll be rifled in around behind the net. Tipped on into the corner. Chiasson going after it. He's tied up. Hodgson trying to dig it free. They whack at it on the boards, and it's taken away and dumped out by Molson to center ice. Molson got it in over the line. Back to Hodgson. A blast, and that didn't get through. Rebound in front of the net is taken away and cleared over on the wing and brought back again by Eakin. Eakin will send it in on his way to the bench. Dumped out to center again. Back in the other direction. Well recovered and squished across ice by Dillon. He got it up on the wing. Foligno took out his man. Myers is back there. Myers trying to jam it out. Foligno comes back to help out. It came in front of the net, but it's cleared up on the wing. And Ott starts away with a pass that's brought away to center ice. And Leno got laid out there by Robida. And Robida being challenged now by Foligno. And they break it up. The puck goes to the corner. Rolled around on the boards. Back to the point. Ehrhoff a blast. Deflected just wide. Kept in there. And now a bump again. Leno and Robida again. And Ott comes over and grabs Robida. And we'll find out what's going to happen now. Whether there will indeed be penalties or not. There were whistles, but I don't think
Well, let it.
by getting penalized.
No, I don't think there's going to be, but watch this. Billy Leno, right up through the middle, looking for the puck. Did you see? Smart move. He realized that puck was in his feet. He took a quick look because he knew he was in a vulnerable position. So he was ready when Robidas come up. Yeah, he put him on the ice, but you know what? He knew he was coming. He seen him coming. He prepared himself.
Kept the fans up and at him momentarily. Kalinder banked it off the boards, but it's rifled across ice. Peverley chasing after it. Peverley ducking on into the corner. Back to the point it comes. Daly holds it in. Long shot fired wide. And is tapped ahead and rolled out to center and picked up now by Girgensons. Girgensons over the line with a shot. Picked away by Lettinen. Kept in by Buffalo. Flynn steers it around the boards. Flip back behind the net again. Larson got held up. It was recovered by Horcoff. Didn't get it out. Kept in. Ristolainen with a shot. That goes back into the corner. Flynn trying to keep it alive. Tapped back along the boards again. They battle for it along the wall. And finally it squirts back to the point. Ristolainen's shot gets knocked down. Girgensons taps it on into the corner. Daly chasing after it for the Stars. Got it around behind his net. And it's going to be picked up there by Gonchar. On the wing to Daly. Daly sends it to center. Scooped in by Roussel. And that's going to be whistled down on an offside.
There's not going to be any shortage of speed in this hockey game. Both these teams are looking to take the puck and go. Dallas, noticeably big hockey team out here. And they can skate. Their back end doesn't mind jumping up either, but you're seeing them get the puck. They're looking to move up the ice extremely quick. They're getting it bang, looking for that quick first pass.
Myers steers it across ice and gets it right back again. And then Roussel with a big hit. He ran into Zadorov. Was in behind the net. This is going to be a dandy tonight. And then Ott went flying in there and back down the ice by Fiddler. Fiddler getting it over the line, trying to cut to the net. Grigorenko caught up with him. Bounces back into the corner. And is steered away by Miller. Came right out in front again. They shot right on. They score! Jammed into the net. As Fiddler tapped it. And the Dallas Stars take the lead.
Vernon Fiddler got the puck in the corner here. And everybody just sort of stand and watch. He's going to win the battle. And Grigorenko and Stafford, both forwards, had to go down. You're going to see both D get caught over in the corner. And once again, leaving two forwards standing in front of the net. There goes Myers. He's out of the picture, and right there, Drew Stafford does what he can do. Grigorenko does as well, but Zadorov was caught up, and Myers was in the corner.
So 3 minutes into the opening period, Dallas has the lead. Tipped around on the boards, rolled back into the corner, stuffed to the other side, Robidas holding it in. He takes a shot that caroms across ice and is held in by Dillon. Bounces up in the air, knocked down and taken away by Ennis. 4-on-2 Buffalo. Ennis getting it over the line. He clears it, but he scores! Matt Moulson, welcome to Buffalo, New York. Matt Moulson guns it home. Top shelf for Mama Heinz cookies. And Buffalo ties it at 1.
And that's exactly what you want to see happen. After being scored on, you want to see them come right back and respond, and that's exactly what just happened right here. Great fake by Ennis, bought the defenseman and the goaltender across, and Matt Moulson in the high slot gets the perfect pass from Ennis, puts it top shelf. Perfectly placed shot, but perfectly executed by this man right here, Tyler Ennis. He sold everybody an old car, and then he made the pass, and it's in the net.
Only 27 seconds separates the two goals in this game. And tapped in behind the Dallas net by Goligoski, getting it up on the wing to Benn. Jamie Benn, that is. Taken back by Buffalo, and a long pass is knocked down at the blue line. And swung in, wide of the goal. Recovered by Ristolainen, leaving it to Foligno. Foligno back into the corner. Kalinder rolled it around on the boards, deflected to the line and out by Leno. But the Stars trying to bring it back in again with Sagan. And a backhand will go wide of Miller. Rolled around on the boards, gunned across ice. Dallas keeping it in, but another shot, and that one's going to be held by Ryan Miller.
Well, maybe those both goals settled this game down a little bit. That first few minutes early in this hockey game, wide open, back and forth, down and back, give an opportunity at each end, go and give one at the other. Settles things down a little bit when both teams gets a little opportunity to score a goal. Now they start playing a little more of their game.
Buffalo's first goal, his 7th season, and first.
Scooped around the boards, goes all the way back to center ice. Bailey drops it back in his own end. Not fired ahead by Gonchar. Knocked down. Finally comes over the line as Larson went to the ice as well. Myers scooping it over. Pass went too high for Jurgensen's. Rolled back in over the Buffalo line. Kept in there. Came out in the slot. Deflected back to the point. The shot deflected wide. And Flynn taps it on to center. Over to Jurgensen. He gets it in. There's some help from Larson, who steered it around into the corner. Larson tried to steal it back again, but Daly comes up with it. Daly will gain center ice. His teammates are changing, and he elects to circle all the way back into his zone. 5 minutes into this opening period. Trevor Daly with it again. Had it up on the wing. That's helped in by Roussel. Miller slapped at it in behind the net. Came right beside the goal. Is recovered by Buffalo. The pass to Stafford. Stafford hooking it across ice. Trotting over the line with Ehrhoff trying to get around the outside. He got the puck right beside the net. Back to Ehrhoff again. Couldn't come up with it. And Dallas starting away. The Dallas net is knocked off, and Lettinen, the goaltender, is trying to get himself back onto his feet again. And the officials, recognizing that, will hold on to it. Meanwhile, some shoving going on back near center ice.
Yeah, Stafford and Fiddler. Fiddler came all across and got a piece of Drew Stafford. He was upset about something. And now they're all talking here now.
Good.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good that they got showing a little emotion here. They're getting fired up, and this is exactly what they were talking about right here. Drew Stafford bumping Fiddler into his goaltender, and now they continue to talk about it. But Dallas is really trying to hit the high guy. Watch this guy circled right here. They get in. If the forwards can't get, they're D-step in, but they're taking it wide, and they're looking to find that third, fourth guy in the slot. The Sabres got to be aware, looking for that. They just can't come all the way back and then decide to find their man from there. They got to start looking as they're coming back to make sure everybody's covered.
Linder taps it off the glass and bubbles its way inside the Dallas line. Chipped up in the air, it hit the referee, and the Stars will recover again with Whitney. He leaves it back in the corner. Given away, kept in by Buffalo. Hudson left it there, and Hudson, he couldn't get it in front of Olsen. Hudson swings it back to the point. Over now, Ristolainen winding up. Ristolainen takes his shot right on, and Lettinen will cover up.
Now this line looks good. You know,
Yeah.
you get a little opportunity to get to know each other, but just, you know, with Ennis back up there with Hodgson and putting Matty Molson on it, all three of these guys can handle the puck extremely well. They're showing their speed. And every time they've been on the ice so far, they've been in the Dallas zone with puck, with good control and creating opportunities. It's Matty Molson just putting pressure on, but moving the puck. Cody Hodgson looking to make that pass. Once again, just great puck control down in the offensive zone.
Now the Stars with Jamie Benn getting it through the blue line, broken up by Ott. He whacked it back in again. Dallas bringing it out with Cole. Steered around behind the Buffalo net, goes all the way to the corner. Myers eased it on to Leno. Leno's pass to center ice. Foligno flipped one, but it went off the leg. Foligno after it again, loses it. Dallas trying to bring it in over the line. Myers steals it away. Myers punches it up in the air, but it's kept in there by Jordy Benn. Came in behind the net and rolls free and steered on to Leno. Leno challenge, can't get it out. Now it'll go to center ice, and Ott charges after it. Ott pulling away. Winds up and drills his shot. That'll find the glass. Ott chases after it in the corner. Charges in there on Jordy Benn. It's cleared and sent on to center ice to Horkoff. Horkoff trying to get away, tapping it in. It's taken out by Pezic. And it's fed back into the corner. Horkoff got it in front of the net. It comes all the way across ice and goes out of play. 12:56 remaining here in the opening period. Matt Molson, he comes it home. It's tied at 1. Video tribute to Lindy Ruff during that commercial break. And yep, the First Niagara Center has won. Rose to their feet to salute the man who was behind the bench for so many, many years. They don't forget. They won't forget. They wish him luck, but probably not tonight. Gunned around behind the net. It goes to the corner. Worked up along the wall to the blue line. Kept in there by Daly and right to Miller, who shall hang on to it.
Now, so far the Sabres have done a decent job in their own zone, keeping the puck to the outside. And when they're gaining control as a defensive core, they're looking up and there's men available to pass the puck to. Too many times on the weekend there was nobody there. But right now there's somebody there. They're able to make that first pass. They're getting support. And they're getting out of the zone for the most part.
Draw one by Flynn. Squeezed over and now sent across ice to Pezic. Pezic worked it through the middle. Flynn could not control it. And Daly picks it up for Dallas. Sliding it back into his own zone. 12.5 to go here in the opening period. Shire bounces one in deep. Kicked that in the corner by Peverley. Came free momentarily. Now goes behind the net, and the Sabres get it back, but give it away. Kept in there by Dallas. Worked around on the boards. And taken back and flipped to the blue line and out. Gonchar sliding it. Peverley gunned it all the way back into his own end, and that affords both teams a chance to make a change. Dallas trying to take advantage of it. Fed back in for Lane McDermott. Too far for him, and shot right on Miller, who will hang on to it. Stay tuned for the Karuba Collision coming up later in the game. Go to Sabres.com to vote on the Karuba Collision of the Year. You'll have a chance to win season tickets for next year.
Yeah, this lineup with Cody McCormick and Drew Stafford. They've attracted some attention physically out there every time they've been on the ice so far. So see if anything comes of this.
Well, they got Lane McDermott out there. He knows how to go. Here's Ristolainen leaving it for Kalinder. Kalinder slips it high in the air. It's going to make it all the way down the ice. A race war into the goaltender. Lettman plays it around behind the net. Up along the boards, and McCormick came over to step into Robidas. Kalinder banks it on to Stafford, who can't get away. Back at center again. Stafford getting all tangled up along the wall with McDermott, and taken back again by Kalinder. Pass up on the wing to Stafford. Stafford hooks it in and heads to the bench. Eric Cole going back after it for Dallas with 11 minutes to go here in this opening period, and tied at 1. Got back to the Buffalo line and scooped on in. That's broken up and sent ahead to the blue line, and finally worked out by Ennis. Myers flipped it ahead, knocked out of the air, cleared to center ice, taken away by Zadorov. He'll chop it right back in again. Goligoski left it there, kept in by Buffalo right beside the net. Well, he jammed it along the boards again, getting knocked down by Sagan. Was Ennis. It's rolled ahead and brought by Cole to center. Cole getting checked by Molson. And Cole reaches over the blue line to pick up his stick, and he put Dallas offside.
Well, this game's had a fair amount of physicality so far in it right here. Drew Stafford coming down. Cody McCormick coming in from the high side on Robidas. Remember, Robidas is the one that stepped into Billy Leno here early in this period, right at center ice.
Yep. Now the Stars will feed it in. Miller steers it off into the corner. Drifted around in the boards, but not out. Kick free finally to Leno. Leno gets it up on the wing to Ott. Ott gets taken out just inside the blue line. He's back into the corner. Ott charges in there again. Leno picking it off. Leno trying to get it out in front of the net. Charges after it once again. Steals it back. Works it along the wall. Gets tangled up with the referee, Riemann. And it came right beside the net again. Finally, it's bounced back into the corner to Eakin. Eakin left it there. Kicked in behind the net. Ott trying to pull his way out in front. Swings it back. Pezic with a shot that misses. Round of the boards. Ehrhoff holding it in. Got it into Leno in the corner. Leno steers it behind the net. Too far for Ott. He charges after it. He wheeled it back to the point, but it's going to go all the way to center ice. Ehrhoff with a back pass. Leno steers it back to his own line as he heads to his bench. Left there for Pezic, who got it ahead, helped on in. Was in deep. Ferguson racing in after it, couldn't get there in time. Dallas starting back again, but it's broken up neatly by Larson on the forecheck. Over to Daly. Daly coming away. Daly got it up on the wing. That's tucked in by Nichushkin. Got it in behind the goal. A pass ahead. Drifted over. Now back to center ice. Larson in over the line. Fired one wide. The rebound was tapped around in behind the goal again. Sabres trying to keep it alive. And battling for it is Gergensen back to the point. That's broken up. Stars come away with a pass. Bringing it in over the line now. Nichushkin. He tried to squeeze it in by Miller, but he held his ground, did Miller. And back to center ice. Scooped in by Flynn as the teams make changes. Robidas comes to center and whoops one in. That'll be tipped around. Grigorenko scooped it up in the air. Didn't get it out of the zone. It's cleared and rolls to an open wing and finally is picked off and brought away to center to McCormick. McCormick in over the line. His shot gets blocked. And Dallas to bring it back again. Robida sending it in deep. He and Myers took a shove at one another. McCormick comes up with it. On the wing to Stafford. Stafford will help it in over the line. Teams are changing again with less than 8 minutes to go in the opening period. Up on the wing and out through center by Seguin. He can't get anywhere. It's broken up at the line and fed back by Jamie Benn into his own end. Over it goes now to Goligoski. He got it in over the line. Here's Cole with a backhand and Miller makes the save. Tipped off the boards and brought back to center again. That's dribbled in deep by Ennis, charging in there after it. Was bouncing around behind the net. Hudson tried to steal it away. Molson is in there. But the Stars come up with the puck and feed it ahead. Came to the blue line, kicked in by Buffalo. Hudson blasts one right on. Lettenden cleared it away. It's dumped back into the corner where Seguin gave it away, but then he got it back again. Rolled to the blue line, kicked down, and finally it's spun up in the air and taken away by Cole. He gets to the Sabres line and over. Cole charging after it again. His teammates are changing. It's deflected just wide of the net by Ehrhoff. Taken away in the corner. Dallas trying to hold it in the Buffalo end. Digging after it, Whitney, and he loses control. And on to center for Foligno. And he gave it away, and the Stars bringing it back again with Whitney. Whitney getting it over the line, puts on the brakes, and it slithers right to Miller, who will hang on to it. 6.5 to go here in the opening period. 1-1. The Ford dealers of Western New York replay brought to you by the Ford F-150 with EcoBoost. Built for tough.
Now Billy Leno back in the lineup here. Doing a nice job working the puck down low. Billy's the kind of guy we talked about, puck sticking to him, being on him all the time. And that's exactly what's happening here tonight. Along with his line mates, Ott and Foligno, they're doing a nice job down low each time when they're on the ice with puck control, wearing them down along the boards, waiting for the opening to take it to the net.
Leno scoops it on to center ice. Ott races after it. Ott stuffs it in over the line and tried to get to the outside. Oh, he got held up and he thought there was going to be an interference penalty. Drifted around on the boards. Now there is going to be a penalty.
There's a slashing call being made here.
Well, I think it's going to Buffalo.
And Mr. Steve Ott.
Yep.
And he just got another one.
I think he was angry because there wasn't a penalty called for interference to begin with.
Well, he's sitting for 4 minutes. He let his emotion get a little ahead of him there. He was a little upset because there wasn't a call right here. This should have been a penalty. And right there is how he calls a slash, which is extremely weak. And now I can understand why he's so upset when he got the puck. So he's off the hook for that one.
I think he got one for intent. Here's Buffalo. Get it out of their own end. It's kept in there by Dallas. Back to the point. Long shot deflected right on Miller. The save, the rebound. Miller made the stop again. Rifled around to the boards and out of the zone. And Ryan Miller sparkles again. Up the center ice. Seguin got it over on the wing. Brought in by Jamie Benn going to the net. And he can't control it. Jump back to the point. Kept in there by Goligoski. Fired across ice. Seguin got it back. That's knocked down. It's tipped ahead, but not out of the zone. Held in by Whitney. Whitney into Seguin in the corner. Seguin drifting around. Got it in front of the net, and it caroms right back to the point to Goligoski. Goligoski holding it in there. Got it in behind the Buffalo goal. Seguin working it around. Flipped it back into the corner. Gets it right back again. Now across ice. Back to Seguin. Seguin takes his shot. That went off a leg. Seguin reloads, keeping it in. Dished it down low into the corner. Whitney feeds it across ice, and it deflects and goes out of play. And this Sabres penalty kill brought to you by Napa. Napa has the know-how.
Well, Ryan Miller once again. He's showing what he can do right here. Goligoski takes a shot, deflects off the post. And right there, gets the glove out in anticipation. And makes that second save. First one off the post, the second one into his glove and out.
Well, McCormick winning the draw, and it's taken away by Zadorov, and he rips it all the way down the ice. 2:35 remaining in the double Langer penalty. Gonchar steers it back behind his own net, and he'll pick it up and quarterback the Dallas powder play. Up the middle, deflected in over the line by Nichushkin. Goes to the corner, flubbed off the boards, but not out by Girgensons. Kept in by Dallas. Worked back along the wall again. They'll tuck it on into the corner. Swung back to the point. Over to Gonchar. Gonchar hangs onto it to the other side, and a shot right on the rebound, right in front of the net. They whack away at it. Puck is still loose, and still the whistle doesn't go, and now finally it does. I don't know whether it went because Miller got his paw on it, but I think it was underneath Myers.
Just like each and every game is important to the Sabres,
each and every client is important to our firm. Give us a call.
Well, there was a lot of players in a small area in front. You see Cole trying to get the puck. Myers is taking him, eliminating him. Exactly what he should do. Nice job by Tyler Myers, but that puck is laying underneath, but the referee's right there in the top of your screen, and he wasn't convinced that puck was covered enough to make the whistle.
Gonchar holds it in by tipping it across ice to Jordy Ben, and Gonchar holds it in again. Stuffs it in down low into the corner. It rolls around on the boards. Kalinder can't reach it, but Brian Stafford can. Stafford on to center ice. In over the line. Foligno with a shot, and he fired it high and wide. Brought right back again. Nichushkin. Nichushkin getting it over the line. He's nailed in the corner by Ristolainen. Ristolainen trying to take it away with 90 seconds remaining in the penalty. Sabres get it back and rip it off the boards, but it's kept in at the point by Ben. He'll steer it across ice. Dallas holding it in with the man advantage. Back to the point. It came out of the line. Whoa, it's ruled okay. And another shot. They score. And Dallas finally putting it away with the shot from the point. Taken by Goligoski, and the Stars on the power play take the 2-1 lead.
And it was a great shot, just a wrist shot. He snuck down from the top side, number 33, after a questionable offside. Puck's come right at the top of the circle. Just takes a wrist shot. Marcus Foligno's right there, tries to get a stick in front of it. You try to allow the goaltender to see it, but he was able to find that short side, top shelf, with a great shot.
Well, Buffalo finds itself down a goal for the second time here in the opening period. Tipped around on the boards. Ennis tried to pry it free. And finally goes back into the corner. Pezic battling in there. Shoving away with McDermott. Put back behind it. Came right out in front. Knocked down, cleared ahead, and away goes Ennis to center. Ennis got it on to Hudson. Hudson in over the line. Hudson trying to pull his way along the boards. Ennis helping him out in the corner. Back to the point, the shot right on. Lettinen makes the save. There's another shot. That's right on. Buffalo still with the puck. Comes back to the point again. Myers a blast. That gets knocked down in front of the net and finally is steered out of the zone. Pass up on the wing. Got back in again. Flipped on into the corner and jammed around behind the net. Came off a skate, but Seguin got it to center ice to Cole. Cole getting in over the line. Here's Cole going to the net, and he's checked by Miller. And Ennis takes it away and flips it around to Myers. Myers gets hit, knocks down his check, but it's kept in. Seguin scores! And Dallas has a 3-1 lead.
Give Trevor Daley an awful lot of credit on this one, because he's the man that came down and took a heck of a hit from Tyler Myers, but kept the puck alive here. Boom, right there, down he goes. But he prevented Tyler Myers from getting that puck out. And it goes right to Seguin, and he made no mistake. But when he did not pinch down, Tyler Myers got that puck and he's turning up the ice, but he came down with such force, and that contact was so big, he made the play.
Daley chasing back after it, leaves it in behind his net. 2 minutes to go here in this opening period. Up back at center ice. Gergensen flips it to his own line. And it's deflected in by Flynn. Kept in there now for Larson. Larson puts on the break. Back to the point. Kalinder with a shot that goes off the leg and in behind the net. Back into the corner. Gergensen has it. Giving it to Flynn. Flynn whips it back to Kalinder. He couldn't keep it in and it goes to center. Ristolainen steering it up the middle to Larson. Larson took a shot right on. Lettman got in front of that one. Flynn steals it away. He tried to tap it out in front of the net but loses the puck. And the Stars will get it out again with Cody Eakin getting to the Buffalo line. Miller kept it on into the corner. It's jammed around on the boards. Eakin after it again. Can't come up with it and it's drifted over to Gergensen's. Gergensen's to center ice. Could not get it. Delano. Dallas taking it back again. Pass up in the wing, helped on in by Chiasson. He bumps with Miller in the corner. Chiasson goes down, or with Myers in the corner, I beg your pardon. And it's fed to center ice. Tipped in over the line by Foligno. Dallas losing the puck. It came out in front of the net. Bodies are tumbling everywhere. Back in behind the goal. Stars trying to get it out of there. Finally do. Brought away and comes to the Buffalo line with Whitney. Whitney trying to get in on goal. He got turned around by Zadorov. Zadorov behind the net, scoops it up on the wing. Pass now to Pezic, who sends it ahead to Ott. Ott got it in over the line. Touch pass to Leno. Leno comes up with it along the wall, keeping it alive, getting it back to the point. And the shot by Ehrhoff is deflected away. Goes back into the corner, jammed around on the boards. Recovered by Dallas as they try to kill off the rest of the period, and they do so successfully.
Well, the Sabres off to a decent start early in this period. They answered back after Dallas scored the first one, but just penalties and a couple slack plays end up costing this team to put them down 3-1 here after that first period.
So Matt Moulson, newly acquired and just arriving in Buffalo today, accounts for Buffalo's lone goal.
Great photos from Bill Whippert. Plenty of lavender on display on Hockey Fights Cancer Night. We also saw Vern Fiddler on display for his first of the year at 2:59. Opened the scoring for Dallas, but in his first period as a Sabre, Matt Moulson from Tyler Ennis. Moulson has 7. He entered this game with the lead in power play goals. That was even strength. Goligoski, though, didn't have a point and was a terrible minus for Dallas until that comes on the power play. Goligoski's first goal, first point of the year. And then this from the Stars to close out the period. Tyler Seguin has 5. Eric Cole set it up. Seguin had been pointless in the previous 3 games, so he breaks out tonight. Has always had pretty good numbers against the Sabres. These are some other numbers to digest. Offensive zone analysis in the term of offensive zone time. Pretty even. Offensive zone puck possession a little bit more in favor of the Dallas Stars, who were again slightly higher on the Corsi number as far as shots on goal, shots attempted, those that missed the net and or were blocked. We'll see. That obviously a byproduct of having the only power play opportunity as well in period number 1, as they had a 4-minute advantage thanks to Steve Ott's slash and unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. All right, so those are the numbers to look at there. We'll have plenty more to look at after 2 periods of play, as Mike Robitaille will be in for further analysis then. Some different line configurations for the Sabres tonight, including, of course, Ennis up on the top line with Moulson and Hodgson. We'll see if they have an answer in period number 2 as they enter it down by 2. RJ and Razor now.
Almost ready to go with the second period from First Niagara Center as Hodgson will move out to take the face-off for Buffalo and do so against Cody Eakin. They wrestle away for it. Hodgson tried to cut around Eakin and tapped it over on the wing, taken back by Whitney. Now swung across ice, passed through the middle, missed everybody, and goes all the way down into the corner, but no icing. And Zadorov came back and flattened Eakin. Now it's kept in there again by Dallas. Trying to slide it in front of the net. Stolen away. Hodgson rips it all the way around on the boards. That'll end up back in Dallas territory, but no icing this time. Here back into the corner and tipped up on the wing, scooped away by Chiasson. Got it on to center ice to Whitney. Overskates the puck, brings it in over the line. That's broken up. Sabres start back again with a pass. It comes to center ice and up to Ennis, who can't corral it. We're back along the boards again, and tracking it down is Zadorov. Zadorov banks it around behind the net. Myers takes a look and gets it up ahead. It's deflected on in by Leno. Lettinen leaves it behind the goal. Now recovered by Robida. Robida sends it to the other direction. Cole gets out of his own end with a long pass that gets knocked down at center ice and is taken right back again by Ott. He dribbled it over the line as he gets taken out of the play by Dillon. It's slapped around into the corner. Cole digs it free. Dillon can't get it out. Kept in by Buffalo, but it went right to Lettinen, who will hang on for the faceoff.
I spoke to Temple Newman in between periods. Asked him what the issues were. He said one big one is Dallas is loving to reverse the puck right now. And that's in their own zone. They're going behind the net and then dropping to their partner coming out the other side. Sabres are not chasing it very well. They're not reading that. They got to start doing that. Also, he said, we got to start using the points. They got a strong collapse. And what that means is you're seeing a lot of the Dallas Stars down very low into the zone, helping out defensively. It's leaving the points wide open. They got to get the puck to the points so they can establish a shot.
And at the end of that play is also Mark Pysyk is going to pick up a penalty here as he gets involved in front of the net, and Buffalo shorthanded again. There's a blast from the point that goes caroling wide off the stick of Jordy Ben. Slip back into the corner. Dallas holding it in. Rolling around is Peverley. Peverley's shot is going to end up in the mesh. And they didn't whistle it down immediately. The linesman saw it. The referee did not. And the linesman whistled it down.
He made that call, and he's coming in to make sure that puck stays in deep too. Gives the Sabres an opportunity to make line change here. Gergensen's an odd out there for the faceoff.
Puck rolled back to the point, kept in, comes across ice, taken away by Ben. Jordy Ben with a shot, deflects back into the corner, chipped around behind the net. Now tapped back to the point by Peverley. Long shot is going to be right on, and Miller will lock it up and hang on to it with a minute and a half to go on the penalty.
And Sergei Gonchar just launches one from the point, just trying to get it in there, hoping somebody's coming in from either side. But they weren't able to get to the front of the net. There was a clear lane right to Ryan Miller. He's able to make that save very easy.
Jamie Benn on the draw for Dallas, wins it. It's tipped back along the boards, kept in by the Stars. Now a screen shot, and that one will deflect wide and go to the corner to Whitney. He gets checked. Ott unable to get it out. Scooped around on the wall by Chiasson. Into the slot with a shot, and that comes all the way back to Whitney at the point. Whitney took a screen shot that's deflected wide by Chiasson. Seguin got it out in front. It's tapped back to Whitney again. A minute remaining in the penalty. Dropped back across ice. Dallas moving the puck around briskly in the Buffalo end. Back to the point it comes, over to Whitney. Whitney cleared it across ice. The shot right on. Miller slapped it away. And Miller got tangled up with one of the Stars. It comes back to the point again. Kept in by Dallas. Worked across ice. Held in with Goligoski. Goligoski on to Whitney. Whitney turning at the top of the circle. Got it in front of the net. Miller makes the save, and he'll hang on to it. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lights.
Well, Tyler Seguin had a great opportunity on this power play from the left side, taking the one-timer. Ryan Miller comes up with a save, goes off his glove shoulder, and it looks like his helmet too. But he had a ton of traffic in front. Chiasson stood there the whole time. He bumped into him, made contact with him 3 or 4 times. And, you know, it's getting very close. That referee's got to keep an eye on that because he's getting himself in an area where he shouldn't be.
Half a minute remaining in the penalty. Dallas holding it in. Jordy Ben got it off to the side, and the shot is deflected away, goes to the boards. Kalinder gets locked up in there, but it comes free, and Larson steers it away, and it's tapped the rest of the way down the ice. Flynn doing the job, and going back after it is Gonchar. Gonchar rips one through the middle. It's knocked down right at the line, kicked in over the line, and the shot just goes wide as Miller stayed with the play. Rolled around on the board, poking up by Buffalo. Scooped ahead, but not out. Now it will be. As Kalinder rolls it down the ice, and Buffalo hustling to make a change as the Sabres return to full strength. Knocked back into the Buffalo end. Zadorov gets it around, and it's tapped high in the air all the way through center, in over the line, taken away in the corner, and Hudson got it out in front of the net but couldn't control it. Jammed around on the boards and finally slapped ahead and brought on to center ice with Nichushkin. He got it in over the line and takes his shot, got blocked in front of the net, and away goes Hudson in the other direction. Hudson gaining the line, looking for the open man. Took his shot right on the rebound, and Ennis chopped it wide. Came right beside the net again, off the boards, kept in by Molson. Now broken up, and Dallas bringing it back in the other direction. Got in over the line, the quick shot, that goes wide of the net off the stick of Fiddler. And it's cleared up on the wing, but bounces free and goes all the way to the Dallas blue line. Closing in on the 5-minute mark here in the second period. Coming back, Robida. He gets to center and sends it in deep. Miller will hold it in behind the net. Myers swings it around on the boards, and out to center it goes. Picked off there by Zadorov. To Myers, back to Zadorov. Myers has it once again. He flipped it through center. This will be deflected in. Leno tried to catch up with it, but it's chopped around into the corner and recovered by Dallas and steered free to Seguin. Seguin getting in over the Buffalo line. Goes for a return pass. Didn't get it. It's flipped right back to center again. Brought back by Leno getting in over the line. He tried to take it away, but Cole checked him. And it's worked on the boards to Seguin, who sends it on to center ice. Broken up by Leno, scooped in by Seguin on his way to the bench. Pezic recovers for Buffalo. Pezic taking a look, flips it over on the wing. Brought back through center again. Sabres are still making changes. And finally recovered by Pezic, who gets it off the boards and out. Gonchar for Dallas. That'll be deflected in deep. Back after it, Larson. Larson loses control in the corner, trying to steal it away again. Rolled it around on the boards to Flynn. Flynn onto center ice. Girgensons goes with him. Flynn gets it in deep into the corner. Sails around behind the net. Looking back to the point. And it's cleared in by Kalinder. Back in behind the goal. Jammed by Gonchar on the boards. It comes free and goes right to Gonchar again, who gets it on to Daly. Daly being challenged. He rips it through center. That'll be deflected in wide of the Buffalo net. Recovered by Ristolainen, leaving it back behind the goal. Long pass up on the wing. Tapped in deep into Dallas territory, and it ends up deflecting and going out of play with 13.5 to go here in the second period. Dallas 3-1. The official copier company of the Buffalo Sabres, Toshiba Business Solutions, your leader in document management.
Well, the Sabres down by 2 here. You want your D involved, and that's exactly what Tyler Myers is trying to do here. Dallas comes into the zone. Bang, there's a turnover. Look at him right here. Number 57, they start rolling up the ice. He's turning it into a 3-on-2. Normally it would have been a 2-on-2. He turns it into a 3-on-2 and drives straight through to the net with his stick on the ice, looking for that redirection. Backed off everybody to open it up.
Well, the Stars firing it down the ice right on Miller. Myers through the middle to Foligno, but his pass was in the skates of Leno. Foligno took it back again to Myers. Up ahead, off Leno, and down the ice, and they'll rule it an icing.
Blue Cross Blue Shield values our members by giving a 10% discount at the Sabres store. Just show your ID card. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York. Healthy changes everything.
Foligno to take the face off against Ben. Dallas keeping it in. Slipped into the corner. Zadorov trying to steal it away as he bumps with Cole. Came back to the point. Ben's shot. That one misses. Around on the boards, and Leno rolled it out to center ice. Ott got it back for Foligno. He feeds it in deep. Stars will bring it right back again. Ben getting bumped by Ott. Went back into the corner, and Seguin rifled one that went off Miller around on the boards. Kept in by Dallas to Seguin again. Seguin swings it to an open wing. And it's taken away by Ott. Ott looking for skating room, comes to center, drips it right on Lettinen, and Buffalo will take advantage to make a change. Dallas to Sagan. He'll blast one in and head to the bench. Ehrhoff trying to bring it on out. Hold it through the middle. It's helped on in by Grigorenko. Letting it way out of the net. Lays it around on the boards. Held in by Molson, who steered it wide of the goal. Round into the corner. Rolled to the blue line and out to center. And here's a break now for Whitney. Whitney getting it over the line. Took the shot and Miller makes the save. Here's back around on the boards, but not out. Dallas holding it in. Knocked down in front of the net. And taken away by Molson, who steers it on to Ennis. Ennis getting it over the line. Bounces off the check thrown at him by Gonchar. Goal back in the corner. Kept in by Molson. He tried to get it in front of the net. Round on the boards. Ehrhoff holding it in. Jumps up in the air. Ennis kicked it down. Got it to Ehrhoff in front of the net. And Hodgson just failed to redirect it. Goes back into the corner again. Taken away by Eaton. He deflected it. And that'll go all the way to center ice. Shot right back in by Tallinder, broken up by Dallas and helped on in by Chiasson. Larson gets it away. Larson carries on to center ice and feeds it in over the line to Girgensson. His backhand to Larson in the corner. Rifles it back to the point. Long shot. Knocked down in front of the net. And it's tipped on to center ice and the Stars bring it away and over the line. Cleared across ice. Dumped back in the other direction, broken up by Tallinder, jammed back in the corner. They poke it around on the boards. Dallas holding it in, trying to get it out in front of the net. Comes back to Daly with a shot that Miller is going to hang on to.
Well, sometimes if you got nothing, just the simplest play can make great things happen. You're going to see number 4 here, Brendan Dillon. Just get the puck, chip it up the wall. Ray Whitney does the same thing, just chips it off the wall, goes by 2 Sabres. Goes down on a 2-on-1 situation. Ryan has to come up with a big save. So just simple little plays sometimes can turn into a nice opportunity.
Now Stafford comes out with McCormick and Grigorenko. Stars dribble it out as far as center ice, brought in by Horkoff. Bounced off the glass, fired back by Zadorov, but not out of the zone. Jordy Ben keeps it in, deflected wide of the goal. Zadorov has it. Zadorov trying to leg it out of his own zone. He got it on to center ice. Stafford dribbled it ahead. Grigorenko flips it in. Lettinen got it around on the boards, and it's tapped back to center again. Brought to the Buffalo line and over, but stolen away. Grigorenko on to McCormick. McCormick gaining the line. And it goes to Stafford. Stafford flipped one hit the side of the net. Dallas trying to get away. Pass coming through center. Grigorenko couldn't check him. It's kept on going. Goes back into the corner again. Recovered by Foligno, who left it there. Foligno kicks it free in the corner. Shovels it around behind the net to Pezic. Pezic rips it off of Leno, and it dribbles down inside Dallas territory, and they'll call it an icing.
Well, the Sabres here this last couple of minutes is getting hemmed in a little bit because those players, the forwards I'm talking, are not staying down in the zone. I think being down 2 here, they're looking to jump a little too quick. The D are getting the puck, they're looking up, there's nobody there. They're trying to hope play all the time up through the middle or trying to throw it through a couple of guys. They've got to get down, just work from the basics, work from their own end, work their way up the ice. You got half a game left. You don't have to try to open it up yet. Once you start opening up like that, you become a victim.
Dallas, long shot, gets knocked down. Then back into the corner again. Kept in by the Stars. Tried to roll it in front of the net. Leno got taken down. Cole keeps it in. Cross ice shot. They score. Shoveled in on the backhand by Jamie Benn, and Dallas has a 4-1 lead.
Now this is what we just talked about in the Sabres own zone, getting a little sloppy. Jamie Benn gets his 4th of the year here. Billy Leno falls on this puck, not getting it out. A little weak, and then quick passes. And Eric Cole in the tie slot right here. Nice job just kind of dishing this puck up. Seguin forces the turnover, and then Seguin across to Jamie Benn. and it's in the net. Ryan's trying to come across and track it, but he's down. He's down and tries to get his glove up to make that save. But just simple turnovers like that in your own zone cost you.
And that puck ended up in the Buffalo bench off the face-off. 9 minutes to go here in the second. Dallas up 4-1.
Final outlet, top D. Dallas' Kari Lehtonen, save percentage leaders. J.F. Seguer leads the pack. 981, Kari Lehtonen. 961, and work your way down. Josh Harding, Tuukka Rask, Simon Varlamov. Some pretty big numbers there. Some men, especially those two guys at the top.
Yeah, they're up in the clouds.
Yeah, they are. You can maintain that, you're going to win a lot of hockey games.
Now Dallas is going to get called for an icing here. 8:54 remaining in the second period. After Dallas took the early lead in the game, Buffalo came back 27 seconds later to tie it up, but the Stars have 3 unanswered since then. Jordy Ben gets it around behind his net, and it's brought on to center ice now and slipped ahead by Goligoski. On a delayed offside, Dallas will touch up. Bringing it back for Buffalo as far as center and scooping it on in is Ristolainen. And now there's going to be a penalty coming up here to Dallas as Foligno gets knocked down. And Cody Eakin will go.
Yeah, Cody Eakin's going for trip here. Tripping Marcus Foligno over on the far wall, but just by the hash marks. Let's give the Sabres an opportunity here to get back on the board right here, just at the blue line. Down he goes. 8:24 left in the second period, down 4-1. This would be a great opportunity if they can find a way to score a goal here.
Stars winning the draw, and it's flipped and sent down the ice by Brendan Dillon. This Buffalo Sabres power play brought to you by New Wave Energy. Visit nwaveenergy.com to join the power behind the Buffalo Sabres. Use offer code SABRES. Ehrhoff. Molson. Cross ice to Pezic. Got it down low. Tried to flip it out in front of the net, but it's broken up. Kept in there by Buffalo. Now broken up. And Dallas trying to come away. In over the Buffalo line. Rolled on into the corner by Dillon. Dillon slapped it along the boards. Gets some help back there from Fiddler. And it ends up going out of play.
Our New York Lotto inside the numbers. 6 current Sabres scored on their first shot with the Sabres. All these guys have scored on their first opportunity as a Sabre. And you're seeing the list right there. Matt Moulson here tonight, Zadorov, the other night, Jurgensen, McBain, Ott, and Leno.
Wait a minute. There's somebody's name missing from that list.
Who? No, current Sabres.
Oh, well, that doesn't
I'm
matter.
a has-been, but
That doesn't matter. I wasn't going to mention has-beens. You mentioned it.
it never was.
You scored on your first shot on goal for Buffalo.
It was a beauty, too.
Oh, I'll bet you.
Could we use that right now?
We can't find
It
it.
was only out there.
We can't find it. It's in the archives. Buffalo bringing it back again. Helped on in by Foligno. A little less than a minute to go in the Dallas penalty. It's rolled off the boards, and Fiddler can't get it out. Grigorenko got it in front. They score! The pass across is shoveled into the net by the captain, Steve Ott. And Buffalo on the power play is back to within 2.
Now, Steve Ott made no mistake when he got this pass and put it in. But a nice job, pitch down the wall, keeps the puck alive. Grigorenko sees Ott going to the far side. Perfect pass across to Steve Ott, and he made no mistake. Right here, Grigorenko gets his head up, finds Ott on the far side, wide open. And Steve puts it perfectly over the glove of Lehtonen.
They'll roll it down the ice now, and Dillon charges back after it. He flipped it around on the boards, kept in by Larson. It came in front of the net, but is picked off by Ben. Jamie Benn gets it ahead. That's going to go in wide of the Buffalo net and be called icing against Dallas.
If you talk about needing a goal, it's exactly what the Sabres needed at this point right here, just to give them a little life. Stevie Ott getting his second of the year here. Great pinch down the wall right here. Keeping it in. Tyler Myers swooping at the puck. But Grigorenko head up, realizing he's got somebody with him. Instead of turning and looking for that shot, he found Steve Ott wide open on the far side.
Robida behind the net will leave it back there. Out to center it goes. Larson's can't get anywhere. It's going to be brought back in. Mike Cole with a shot. Carried on Ehrhoff. Cole whistled it around behind the net. Got it right out in front, and it swept away to Gergensen. Gergensen doesn't get it out of the zone, though. It's going to go to Miller, and Miller will cover up. He recognizes that Ehrhoff had broken his stick, and then he gave it back to Talinder as play continues on. Larson firing it in. Cleared on to center and ripped on in by Dillon, and that's going to go out of play. 6 minutes remaining, second period. Buffalo narrows the gap. It's 4-2 for Dallas. 4-2 Dallas. During the commercial break, they recognized George Babcock, the assistant equipment manager for 1,500 games, working in and around that Buffalo Sabres bench. One thing about George, if you come to the arena and you're in a grumpy mood, head in his direction, because he'll brighten your day and he'll do it in a hurry.
Probably one of the most intense person I ever been around.
Yeah.
And it's all Sabres about this man. He would do anything to make this team successful.
There's the team crest on his sleeve. There's no doubt about that. Now the puck cleared along the boards is chipped out to center ice, brought in by Chiasson. Tried to steer it in front, and Myers takes it away. His pass goes to center. 3-on-2, Buffalo coming back. Left from Molson to Hudson. Hudson around behind the net. Back to Myers. Over to Zadorov. He took a shot. That's right on the rebound. But it's broken up, and Dallas will get a chance to bring it out, and Chiasson does. To Whitney. Whitney got it in over the line, and the shot is fired high and wide. And all the way out to center ice. Gonchar flipping it across ice. Clubbed back in again by Daly. Dallas changing up. Zadorov gains the Stars line, flips it in, and steps to the bench. 5 minutes to go here in the second period. Dallas trying to get away again. Got it as far as center. Ott breaks it up, gets it on to Leno. Leno getting it over the line. Leno back to Ott. Ott cuts around behind the net. Ott still got the puck. Ott drifts it back to the point. Kept in by Talinder. And it goes all the way around on the other side. Ristolainen moves up. His shot at the side of the net. Caroms around into the corner. Kept in by Buffalo. Knocked down. It goes to the boards again. Kept in by the Sabres. Back into the corner for Leno. For Ott. Ott turns around. To the point it comes. Whistled across ice. Talinder's long shot is grabbed and held by Lettinen.
For the team to get the best possible result, it requires hard work, talent, and passion.
Let our team at Cellino Barnes help you get the best possible result.
Face off coming up deep in Dallas territory. And it's rifled off the boards through center and down the ice wide of the net. That's another icing.
You notice about Dallas defense, you don't see it an awful lot, is they don't hesitate to throw it high and hard off the glass. We used to talk about it all the time. You're in trouble down low, high and hard off the glass. Guys made a living on it. Randy Moore and guys like that, but you don't see it as much anymore. But you've noticed it 5 or 6 times here tonight where they have not hesitated to get it up and out.
Grigorenko, who set up the last Buffalo goals on the face-off, comes back to the point, kept in there. Scooped across for Talinder. His shot got blocked and taken away by Robida. To the line, out, knocked back in again. Sabres tag up to get onside. 4 minutes remaining in the second. Pass deflects down, goes behind the Buffalo net. Kalinder, the first one there, shovels it around on the boards. Grigorenko whacked it free and got it to center ice across to McCormick, who will leave it there to Ristolainen. His shot is right on. Taken back by the Stars, Fiddler. And back through center ice for Dallas. In over the line comes Dillon. Dillon twisted all the way around the boards to Sagan off the bench. He got checked but got it back again. Flipped into Cole in the corner. Cole puts on his brakes, trying to get away from Pezic, who stays right on him. And it's recovered by Ehrhoff. Around to Pezic, too far for him. Grigorenko caps it free and away to center ice. The pass up ahead to Ennis. Ennis getting it over the line. Ennis looking for a trailer, got it around behind the net. Hodgson gives it back to Ennis again. To the point it comes to Ehrhoff with a shot. Didn't get through. Broken up but kept in by Buffalo. Ennis whacked it in down low. Hodgson in the corner. He gets checked. Ennis charges after it. Ennis reels it back to the point to Ehrhoff again. His shot right on. Molson scores! Matt Molson on his way to the ice. Shovels it in. His second of the night. And Buffalo trails by 1.
Well, the Sabres have had success when they rotate the puck down low and work it. And that's exactly what happened here. Look at all the Dallas players get caught up. They're following up top, following the puck, thinking maybe it's coming out. Matty Molson just finds his way right underneath here. Nice job by Ehrhoff finding him in front, looking for the redirection. But when that puck was hit, stops right to it, and he finds it. He finds that puck and is able to put it up over Letton on the backhand. Once again, beats him on the glove side. But nice work by this line down low.
Tough to celebrate when you're on your butt, but Molson managed. And now it's cleared in over the Buffalo line and recovered by the Sabres. Left there for Myers. Myers swings it across. Zadorov couldn't get away, but it'll be rattled in by Larson. Flipped in behind the net. Girgenson's charging after it. To Larson again. Larson tapped it back into the corner. Flynn attempting to come up with it. Get some help from Larson. Flynn still battling for it on the boards. And it ends up sliding out to center where Zadorov takes it away. Ripped a pass across ice, but it's chipped right back in the other direction. Icing again against Dallas.
Our Hyundai leader, Matt Molson, has scored 120 goals since 2009-2010, and that puts him at number 10, most in the NHL. Coming in here tonight.
Punched off the boards as far as center ice. Ott takes it back again. Kalinder got it up on the wing. Leno steers it in over the line. Sends it in deep. Goes in behind the net. Chip back into the corner. Foligno then tried to get it back to the point and missed everybody, and Miller will handle it in behind his goal. With 92 seconds remaining in the second period. Kalinder gains the Dallas line. He scoops it in and charges in after it. Rolls around into the corner, picked up by Dillon. Dillon's passing. Ott almost ripped the head off of Peverley. Back comes Leno. He didn't shoot, and he clears it off into the corner. Ristolainen keeping it in. Leno after it again. Rolls around the boards. Ott getting involved. Leno trying to get free. He gets stuck against the wall. Poke at it. Hodgson keeping it in there. Drifts around to Ott in the corner. Ott tapped it back to Hodgson. Hodgson back to the point. Pezic a shot! That's deflected away. And it's cleared around on the boards and steered back into the corner again. And now punched all the way down the ice. Pezic catches up with it before it's an icing call with 40 seconds remaining in the period. Up to Hodgson in over the line. Hodgson trying to duck away in the corner. Chased by Sagan. Hodgson got it in front, and it's chopped just wide by Molson. Dallas starting back up to Cole. Cole hitting the Buffalo line and over. Puts on the brakes, cleared it across ice right in front of the net. Pezic slapped it away in time. And it's recovered now by Buffalo and shoveled high in the air and through center ice. That's tipped off the boards. And back into Dallas territory. That'll be fired all the way down and deflected in. And now broken up as the horn will end the second period.
Well, not a great start to this second period, but what an excellent end. Sabres gained momentum as they went along here in this second period. Started working the puck down low, getting the puck to the net, and they had some very good success from it.
Matt Bolson welcomes his way into the hearts of Buffalonians and Sabre fans. 2 goals tonight. Buffalo trails by 1. Buffalo at one point down 4-1 and has come back to narrow it to a single goal difference at this point in time as they drop the puck and we're underway with period number 3. Fired through the middle by Goligoski and over the line, the backhand, and Miller makes the save as getting in behind was Chiasson. Chiasson comes up with it again, trying to get it back to the point. That's broken up, came back out in front, chipped off into the corner, recovered by Zadorov. He runs into Cody Eakin, who goes down. And it dribbles back inside Dallas territory. Fired off the boards and out to center ice. Broken up by Pezic. And Hudson steals it away. Pass on the wing, long pass, trying to get it across ice to Ennis. He left it there. Here's Ennis. He tried to scoop it in front. As the goaltender Lehtinen misplayed the puck. Back comes Cole in over the line. Cole then got his stick up on Ehrhoff. And it comes to center where Foligno steals it back again. Dribbling it across ice to Ott. Ott tried to swing it back in and ducked a check thrown out by Jamie Benn. 2 captains running at one another. Now cleared up on the wing again. Buffalo keeping it in. Finally tapped on to center ice. Foligno fell. And Seguin swings it over to the wing, but it's broken up and comes back to center ice. And then getting taken down with Foligno, and he's upset. There's going to be a penalty, but Foligno says, nuts to that noise. I want Brendan Dillon. This was after Dillon had taken the original penalty for tripping, at least for tripping on gathering. And Foligno and Dillon now are trying to size one another up to get a couple of pokes in. As they stand back and want to tee off on each other, and Dillon got one underneath, and it almost cost him to go down, but he managed to regain his balance again. The 2 big boys were trying to gain purchase so they can fire a couple of punches in that'll be telling punches. Foligno got the elbow pad out of there and gets a couple underneath, and now Dillon coming back. And the linesmen are just standing by. They want to get in and break it up, and they're going to do it now.
Now, Brendan Dillon's definitely going to get the extra here. Look, he reaches out. Ooh. Yeah, that was close to knee on knee there. You know, Marcus is having a tough time. He's kind of limping into the box over there right now. And then he decided right there, there was enough's enough. Let's go at it. 2 big men going at it, throwing some big punches. You have to say Marcus Foligno got the better side. He got a few more in.
Well, that won't even count if he's injured, though.
No, it's not. And he was kind of just leaning into the box there, kind of limping in a little bit because they just caught his leg there. That right leg coming up.
Dillon is on his way to the dressing room. Stay up to date on roster moves. Find out what the coach is thinking every week on WGR. Join Sabres head coach Ron Ralston Tuesday mornings at 8 with Howard and Jeremy on the home of the Buffalo Sabres, WGR Sports Radio 550.
And Dillon went to the room. He's got about an inch cut on his cheek. Look, right where his mask was coming down and he was leaking.
Here's Ehrhoff with a blast that got blocked, and it's kept in by Buffalo. Hudson hanging on to it here at the hash marks. Hudson slides it in behind the net, out in front. Back to Ehrhoff, the push right on. And the goaltender Lehtinen got a pad on it. Ehrhoff's got it again. Swings it down low into the corner. Ennis getting away. Ennis swings it across ice. Now Hudson trying to duck away in the corner. He's still got possession of the puck. Hudson will hang on to it, tipping it back to Pezic. Pezic over to Ehrhoff. The shot right on. It's under the goaltender. He didn't know where it was, but he makes the save and he hangs on to it. Terry Lehtinen was afraid to move.
Well, Ehrhoff's making the best of this, taking the shot. The first one Rosell gets, looks like he got it in his hand area, his left hand. He gets up and he battles through the rest of this shift. But Ehrhoff's going to get another great opportunity at the end, stepping in, taking the shot, and almost finding its way through. Lehtinen wasn't sure where it was. He had it trapped between his arm and his pad.
Dallas got it off the boards. Ristolainen kicked it out of the air, but the Stars bring it in over the Buffalo line shorthanded. Grigorenko pries it free. He'll leave it for Myers. Myers on to center ice. Up for Ristolainen. 2-5. Goes back into the Dallas corner. Daly trying to tie it up in there. Leno keeping an eye on him. It comes free behind the net. And around it comes to Myers. Myers holding it in by sliding it on into the corner. Quick shot is right on. And it's going to be held by Lehtinen with Ott standing on his doorstep.
The Sabres got to realize when they get the puck into the Dallas zone, all 4 defenders are collapsing right down to the line, wherever the puck is. It is leaving the D wide open, and they got probably 20 feet between the defenseman and the next closest player to them, so they got to look to get the puck to the point.
Rifled around on the boards and set down the ice with 35 seconds remaining in the Dallas minor penalty. Ehrhoff brings it back again. He twists in over the line and chases after it. Got tripped up. And it goes all the way back to center ice. Pezic comes up with it. Pezic gains the line and chases in after it. Shoves along the boards with Goligoski. Taken back by Ennis. Ennis spinning around in the corner. Back to Ehrhoff to Ennis again. Ennis tips it across ice. Here's Ehrhoff with a shot, and he fired it just wide, and it's gunned off the boards and out to center. And now Dallas coming back to full strength. Nichushkin in over the line. Nichushkin going to the net. Miller makes the save, and it's kicked on out to center ice. Nichushkin had been serving the minor penalty, and he almost got a break, but Miller came up big. Now a pass ends up missing everybody and back into Buffalo territory. Both teams are changing. Myers. He swings away and is denied by Ben. Flynn to Myers again. Ripped along past the Girgensons. Too far for him. Girgensons chases after it. There's no icing. And it comes to the boards. Kept in by Zadorov. To the other side. Myers pinches to hold it in. Girgensons can't control it, and it's tapped out to center ice. Zadorov racing after it again, rips it right back in. Head around behind the net, punched around on the boards, and Cole fires it across ice. Ben brings it in over the line and put himself offside. Canisius College Student Surge, brought to you by the Canisius Masters in Sport Administration. Find out more at canisius.edu.
Valerie Nichushkin steps out of the box, the penalty box that is, right into the pass coming out of his zone. And he battles off Ehrhoff all the way down. He gets a great opportunity. But Pezic just kind of gets his stick on it, just right at the top of the crease. And he's not able to get a clear shot on Ryan Miller, but he followed the puck right across, made the save.
And Dillon, who had gone off for repairs after his fight with Foligno, is back on the penalty bench. Ristolainen. For Tallinder. Tallinder gets it in deep. Goes all the way into the corner. Stafford tried to steal it back. Stafford chases after it again. It was in his skates. He couldn't control it. And now it's rolled along the boards and back inside the Buffalo line. Ristolainen hustling back after it, bumped by Roussel. And McCormick came back to step into Roussel, and the Sabres come up with the puck. Grigorenko's pass is stolen away. Miller flips it over to Ristolainen. He'll leave it for Tallinder to Ristolainen. Ristolainen got it over on the wing, kicked in. Around behind the Dallas net, swung around on the boards, and finally is jammed on to center ice to Horcoff. He'll get it in deep for Nichushkin. Nichushkin trying to get away behind the net, let it dribble to the corner. Ott catches up with it. Ott jammed it back in the other direction. Ehrhoff. who, as per usual, is seeing a lot of ice time, and Ott almost stole it away. Taken back by Horcoff. Horcoff gaining the Buffalo line and over. Dropped it off in the corner. It goes around behind the Sabre net. Kept in by Dallas. Now dribbled back to the point. Long screen shot. It's going to be held by Miller. With 13:56 remaining in the third period, and the visiting Dallas Stars lead 4-3.
The Bat Blue Light player profile tonight is Matty Molson. He's had some great chemistry with Ennis and Hodgson out there. They scored a couple of goals, but he does a lot of other good things. He gets himself in those dirty areas. He likes playing in front of the net. But here you're seeing a couple of real nice defensive plays, getting back into the area. But when he gets the puck, his head's up. He's looking to go on the offense all the time, make that pass or make something happen. Three of these guys tonight have generated some great opportunities, and there he is, right in front of the net where you like to see him be.
Yeah, Dallas keeping it in off the face-off. It's tucked around into the corner, picked up by Chiasson. He got it back to the other side. Long shot. That went off the leg wide as Goligoski let it go. Dallas keeping it in, now rolled in behind the net. Zadorov trying to track it down in the corner, flip back in the other direction. Dallas keeping it in, back to the point. Goligoski rips a shot that just went wide as Miller came out to make sure that he'd taken away the angle. Back to center ice again, brought in over the line and tipped across to Hodgson. He tried to slide it back to Molson right in front of the net. Molson's got it again. To the point it comes. Myers takes a shot way high and wide as it deflected. And it's punched off the board, kept in by Hodgson, who tried to get it in front of Molson and went all the way out to center ice. Buffalo getting it back again. The pass to Hodgson, now to Ennis. Ennis looking for the open man, getting away on the wall from Seguin, and it's rolled off the boards and now slapped away and brought on to center ice, and Seguin carries on. Seguin hitting the Buffalo line is denied by Tallinder, but gets it in deep. They'll tip it around on the wall. It'll be jammed back in along the boards again. As they battle in behind the net, Tallinder couldn't dig it free. Picked up by Jamie Benn and taken away, but the Stars keeping it in there again. And finally it goes off Daly and pops out to center ice where Gonchar recovers. He'll leave it there to Benn, Jamie Benn that is. Drops it back in his own zone, and it's swept across ice by Gonchar. Fired off the boards inside Buffalo territory. Tallinder takes it away. Dallas is changing, and Tallinder rips the pass up on the wing, scooped in over the line by Flynn, but it's a delayed offside, and the Sabres have not cleared the zone. I don't think Larson realized that it was a delayed offside, and play is called. Join the Sabres alumni at their 10th annual Fall Wine Festival, Thursday, November 21st from 6 to 9:30 at First Niagara Center. Tickets $75 each, with proceeds to benefit breast cancer care in Western New York. You can purchase tickets by logging on to sabres.com.
We talked about it in the opening. It's an excellent night. It's a good time. A lot of great food, a lot of great people right down here on the ice surface. It'll be a fabulous night.
Well, we should mention the floor will be in, right?
Yes.
It won't be on the ice. Now there's going to be a penalty coming up here to Dallas for slashing. And the evidence is lying on the ice, and the evidence is being reclaimed by Ehrhoff. And now we've got Pezic going over and bowling over Roussel. Or Roussel may have just slipped and went down, but the original penalty is going to Dallas if indeed there is more than one.
Yeah, I think he's calling Roussel and Pezic here too. So the box will be full. Fiddler's going for the initial. And Roussel and Pezic will be going for their little incident here in front of the bench.
Which really wasn't a big deal. But
no, it wasn't. It was more Roussel trying to draw something in. Here it is right here. The slashing call on Fiddler. Comes across, breaks Ehrhoff's stick. And then all of a sudden, that's all that was, and both those men are sitting in the box here too.
all of this with 11:55 left on the clock in the third. And the face-off deep in Dallas territory. Buffalo looking at the power play again, trying to get the equalizer. Dallas recovering, getting it around the boards. Ehrhoff keeping it in, but it was in his skates and went to center ice. Hodgson slipping back after it. For Myers, who feeds it on to Ehrhoff, who gets it up to center ice, scooped over on the wing. Molson punches it in deep. Goes around into the corner again. Molson took a shot right on, and that's kicked to the side and sent on to center ice. Dallas starting back again. Peverley getting in over the line. He drops it to the trailer, and the shot is blasted right on, and Miller makes the save on Chiasson, who had just come off the bench.
And I don't think the Sabre defense seen that coming until the last second. And there's the shot from Chiasson coming up. Ryan getting it up around the neck area in the high chest. He's making that save. But when the 2D were going back, they had no idea until the last second that he had come off the bench. And Beverly knew. He seen him coming. He took a quick look because it was a 1-on-2 situation. So he was hanging on to the puck, just trying to draw the 2D over. And that's exactly what he did.
Buffalo still working with the man advantage for another 120. The Stars are doing a good job of taking time off the clock and battling as Cody Eakin, and he sends it all the way out to center. And it'll be tapped all the way back down again just by Zadorov. Ristolainen gives it to Zadorov. His pass ahead for Foligno, gets it in deep. Lettman plays it around on the glass. Ristolainen keeping it in. Gunned it off into the corner, but it's going to be recovered by Chiasson, who shovels it down the ice. And with 42 seconds remaining in the penalty, Buffalo starting back again. Brought in over the line, and Grigorenko is taken out, and it's cleared back to center ice. Zadorov being chased back in his own end. Now he'll get going in the right direction. But he feeds it over on the wing, and there's nobody home, and Dallas takes advantage of that by firing it right back down again. Only a dozen seconds remaining. Plenty of time for one more rush, and away goes Ehrhoff. Getting in over the line to Myers. Myers doesn't shoot, puts on the brakes. He keeps it alive, and then he gives it away, and it's picked off by Dillon, who sends it up on the wing to center to Cole. Cole getting in over the line. Across ice it goes. And Ben failed to play it cleanly. Around for Cole again. Eric Cole bumping with Ehrhoff. They wrestle in the corner. The puck comes free. Comes back to the point. Held in by Gonchar, but broken up and tipped right back out again by Molson. Well, it's flipped all the way back to the Dallas goaltender. Ben leaves it. Seguin hits the Buffalo line with a pass back to Cole, who blasts one, and Miller will hang on to it. 9:20 to go. Third period. Dallas by 1. Got a little bit of animosity in this game tonight being displayed, and also some big hits, including the one by Cody McCormick on Stefan Robidas as he stood him up straight, make the right decision, insist on Karuba Collision, the official collision repair centers of the Buffalo Sabres. Eakin will come in to take this face-off against Larson deep in Buffalo territory. A little over halfway through the third period. Eakin tried to go to the net, but it's broken up, and Flynn sends it on to Girgensons. Girgensons looking to work it out in front. Girgensons tied up in behind the net, rolled around on the boards, and finally it's tossed high in the air, but knocked down to the blue line, kept in there by Buffalo. The pass up ahead to Girgensons. He turns on the wall, sends it in deep, and it goes behind the net and is picked off by Dillon. Dillon tracked by Larson, flipped it in behind the goal, shoveled around on the boards, and Girgensson was unable to track it down. Brought back in over the line by Eakin. Eakin puts on the brakes. That'll deflect into the corner. Kalinder charging after it, but it went back in behind the net. Dallas dribbles it around on the boards. Larson's trying to fight it out of there, can't do it, and now it comes to the blue line, but still not out, and it's held in by Chiasson. Recovered by Buffalo, and back comes Kalinder. Kalinder got it in over the line, but it's taken out of the air and flipped in the other direction. Peasant taps it ahead. Kalinder with a little over 8 minutes to go here in the third, and Buffalo down by 1. Kalinder rolls it over on the wing, slugged ahead, off Ott and down the ice. Back in behind the Dallas net. Kicked around on the board. Sabres keep it in. And it finally rolls free. Held in there by Leno. Leno left it. Pezic got it in behind the goal. Here's Ott battling forward in the corner. Ott swings around. To the point it comes. Over to Pezic. Pezic took his shot. Letting them the save. And the rebound is swept to the side and high in the air and back down the ice. And icing coming up here against Dallas.
Good job by the Sabres. This is what they got to do. 7.5 minutes here. They're down 1 goal. They've got to keep this puck in the Dallas zone and work their D down low and get the puck to the net when they have the opportunity. They've done a nice job for the most part here tonight along the walls, and when they have started to rotate it coming out of the corners, they've got good chances from it.
Lindy Ruff has elected to take a timeout here. He thinks that the players he has on the ice need a bit of a breather after the icing call. 7:36 remaining on the clock. Some of the Halloween-clad folks in attendance are whooping it up. This is the closest game they can get to Halloween, because the next time the Sabres play at home will be Saturday night when they entertain Anaheim.
Well, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And tonight our Miller Time moment is the Sabres' wives and girlfriends taking donations in the front tonight for breast cancer research. They're doing a nice job out there. They collected an awful lot of money, and I salute those young ladies for doing what they're doing. And right there's the mammogram bus. The Sabres alumni, ECMC, First Niagara, we've created that bus, and they go around to all the inner city areas and local areas giving mammograms to ladies and men. And it's done a great job, and it's out there all the time. Look for it.
Here's the puck being shoveled in by Goligoski and taken back by Ehrhoff. He leaves it in the corner to get away from Nichushkin. Up on the boards to center ice. Ennis gets it free. Ennis getting it over the line. Left it to Molson, and his shot was blocked. Stiers getting it back again. Twisted around behind the net. Banked off the glass high in the air, and it bubbles its way over the stick and all the way down to Miller. Ehrhoff chipping it around to Pezic. Back to Ehrhoff. On to Hudson at center. Hudson gaining the line. Feeds it in deep off the glass. Recovered by Robidas, who got it off the boards. Picked up by Cole. Cole gaining the Buffalo line and over. He is watched closely by Zadorov. And now it rolls back into Dallas territory, and this will be an icing coming up against Buffalo.
Well, there's no need to take any chances here. If there's nothing there, get it down the ice, come back, regroup. Ron's taking an assessment here to see if he wants a timeout. He's going to take the timeout here. He thinks his guys are a little too tired here with 6.5 minutes left. Cole forces Zadorov. He's got nowhere to go with it. He just wants to make sure he gets it out of trouble. He turns and fires it up the wall, and it's the icing.
So in the last 90 seconds or so, both coaches have opted to use their timeouts or times out on icing calls. 6:27 remaining on the clock. It's a 1-goal game after the Sabres trailed 4-1 at one point in the second period, but then scored 2 unanswered to close the gap. Sabres' next start will be in New York at the spanking new Madison Square Garden on Thursday night. They're actually, the Rangers are playing their first home game tonight. And the reason they couldn't get back into the building, it was still being refurbished.
Can't believe you get to stay home and hand out candy.
That's not quite true, but
No?
I won't be in New York. You're right. Here's the puck being jammed back into the corner. Myers ties up his man. Kicked along the boards by Roussel, but he's watched by Hodgson. He's still battling in there. Now it squirts free, and Hodgson digs it out. Hodgson gaining center ice, trying to roll it up on the wing. Brought in over the line, but broken up. And Dallas to bring it on back again. In over the line comes Fiddler. Fiddler couldn't get it to go through. In behind the net. Taken away and shoveled up on the wing. Zadorov had to come back and break it up again around for Myers. Myers deals it to center ice. That'll be knocked down. Kick free, and back it goes to Chiasson. Steered ahead. Tapped in over the line by McDermott. Broken up and back to the Dallas line, and now scooted over on the other side for Goligoski. Stars to try it again. And Jordy Benn, the elder of the Benn brothers, clearing it on in. Sabres break it up, and Tallinder rushes back in the other direction. Tallinder getting it over the line, feeds it on into the corner. Gergensen charges in there. Tip back for Ristolainen with a shot, and that one is grabbed and held by Lettinen. 5:12 left on the clock here in the third. Buffalo trails by 1. Alex Chiasson in the first period had a wonderful opportunity to score, but Ryan Miller came over and took it away from him with a great glove hand. He stole one from him, and Chiasson was foiled on the Toyota big save of the game. Here's Foligno trying to take the face off for Buffalo. Maybe. Finally drop it. Tip back along the boards. Back to the point, but unable to keep it in. Ristolainen. Ristolainen squeezes it through the middle to Foligno. Foligno banks one in. That'll go in deep and around behind the net. Stars shovel it around on the boards, and they'll have the opportunity to bring it out and do. Flip down deep into the Buffalo end. No icing this time. Foligno jammed it around on the wall. And Ristolainen's pass goes to center, but too far for Otts. Sabres begin to make some changes. Foligno chasing after the puck in the Dallas end. Worked up in the wing, and it comes back through center ice. Taken away by Pezic. Ehrhoff shovels it up ahead. Leno can't get anywhere, and now Hudson is back there. Leno trying to get to the bench. Sabres bring it back in over the line. The pass to Hudson, but it's deemed to be offside.
Now, Christian Ehrhoff tonight's had a good night. He's been all over the ice. He's lugging the puck. He's doing a lot of good things out there. Not sitting back one time. He gets the puck. He's looking up the ice. If there's nothing there, he hasn't hesitated to lug it up. He spent an awful lot of time up in the offensive zone, too, trying to create. And on the power play, he's done a nice job getting the puck through.
Ehrhoff tapping it over to Pezic. 4 minutes to go in the third. Pezic will slap it in deep. Hudson trying to steal it away. Kicked along the boards. Molson pokes it around behind the net. Pezic goes in deep to keep it alive, and now it's dumped up in the air. Pezic gets it back again. Got it in for Hudson. Hudson trying to get it right in front of the net. Molson couldn't get his shot away. And it's cleared back out to center ice. Dumped over the line, and the Stars will tap it around behind the Buffalo net. Ehrhoff gets it up on the wing. And an errant pass through center ice. Pezic finally catches up with it. Long pass ahead. Hudson deflected it in, but the goaltender Lettinen sends it all the way to center, and the Stars come back with Eakin. He got it in over the line. It's cleared in front, broken up. Buffalo back in the other direction. The pass going ahead. Grigorenko gets it in deep and tries to go in after it. It's kicked around on the boards by the goaltender. Whitney takes it back, but he's challenged by Myers, who got it out in front. And it's stolen away by Eakin, bringing it back to center ice. Eakin will dump it in deep. That's tipped all the way around on the boards, but broken up by the Sabres and brought back again. Flynn in over the line. Flynn tucks it around into the corner. Dallas trying to tie the puck up in there. Flynn attempting to boot it free. Gergensen's is also in. Gergensen digs it along the boards and tries to go back after it again. Now the Stars getting it ahead and sending it through center. Zadorov rings it out to center ice, tapped right back in again. Both teams are changing with 2:15 left on the clock. Myers. Up it comes to Foligno. Foligno gaining the line, but he can't get it in deep, and it goes back to center. Tallinder's pass on the wing is deflected in by Ott. Whacked around on the boards again, and coming over is Ristolainen, who filled in Jamie Benn. And it's going to be an icing coming up here against Dallas.
Like to see this coming down the wall. Ristolainen pinches down the wall on Jamie Benn. Jimmy Benn's playing the puck to get it out. Ristolainen just finished his check.
Ben's fine. He's up on his feet. He's ready to take a face off again. But he knows he's been hit. Tipped into the corner. Leno tried to steal it away. Couldn't do it. Ristolainen pinches, but it's broken up and tossed out to center ice by Dallas. 100 seconds remaining in regulation. Ott is back to pick it up. Miller is still in the net, but he's starting to creep out now. It's brought in over the line and dumped into the corner. Miller's on the bench. Drifted around on the boards. Ott keeping it in. Long shot. Whoa! And that just deflected wide. Leno, he left it back there. Here's Ott back to the point to Ristolainen. Took his shot. That caromed off a skate. Chipped out in front again. Knocked down. Kicked in by Buffalo. They jam it on the boards, and then finally Dallas comes up with it and flips it all the way down the ice wide of the net, and that's an icing, and that was not a good play.
No, and it wasn't, and they have no timeout. Dallas does not. Ron Rolson is trying to get his guys out there as quick as possible. He got a quick change. He's getting them out there so he can try catching them tired. But that was one of those hits. Ristolainen hit Ben, and Ben panicked on the wall over there, and he just fired it down because he was hit a couple more times after that.
Well, Ben wins the draw. It's flipped on the boards. Gergenson's keeping it in. Kissed it around on the other side. And it's chopped but not out. Kept in by Buffalo. Now drilled around on the wall. Knocked down by Ehrhoff, but it goes to center. Molson picks it up. Molson gaining the Dallas line and over. Swings it over to Ehrhoff. Took his shot right on Litton and grabs it and hangs on to it with 41 seconds to go.
Well, Buffalo's arguing here. There was too many men on the ice for Dallas, and they let it go. There was confusion right there. And they're still arguing and thinking it was too many men right here.
The face-off in the Dallas zone. Kicked around behind the net, picked up by Robidas. Robidas sends it high in the air, and that bubbles its way down the ice. No icing. Sabres with a half minute to go, bringing it back. Ehrhoff, gain center. He'll smoke one in. Left in behind the net. Letton jams it around on the boards. Whitney gets knocked down by Molson. Comes back now to Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff takes his shot into the leg in front of the net. Pezic a blast. That's knocked down. They're back into the corner. Pezic trying to dig it free, and he does. Pezic looking. Takes his shot again. Knocked down in front of the net. And it's covered up there and held by Robidas. And Ott is arguing for a delay of game penalty to go against Robidas, but he's not going to get it.
I think it was a great play by Robidas. He didn't use his hands. You see him, he's going to keep his hands in tight to his body. It hits him in his chest, and he just rolls over on top of it. And why that call wasn't made, Sabres players were right on top of him. Puck comes in there, and he just gets it. There it is. He just kind of lays down on it.
But meanwhile, 3.6 seconds remain on the clock on this faceoff.
Plenty of time. Win the draw, either shot or pass and shot.
Well, now we've got Dillon and Ennis mixing it up, and then Ennis being challenged by a couple of the Dallas Stars. And this will all result in my dad is bigger than your dad, or something to that effect. Clock never started. They never did drop the puck. Ennis trying to go to the net. He did, but Litton then grabs the puck and hangs on to it as time expires. And now the Sabres are saying, wait a minute, wait a minute. There should be time left on the clock.
And they are. The linesman's coming over, telling them to wait.
It won't be much.
The referee's gone to the penalty box.
No, it was 3.6 when they originally dropped the puck, so you know there's not going to be much left there.
Now they figure this right off the draw. Tyler Ennis goes straight through the net here. The puck comes.
It was grabbed by the goaltender before he could get a stick on it.
You're right, and Dylan there, he caught Dylan, just kind of got a jump on him, and he got in behind him if he had got that puck clear.
1.2 left on the clock now before they drop the puck. Now you pretty well got to go to the net on the faceoff. You don't have a whole lot of time to fiddle around. Now the timekeeper is calling the referee back over. Now they're ready to go. The officials are trying to get everybody to line up properly.
1.2 seconds, you're right. He's almost got to pull this right towards the net. Get guys going through.
And he tried. Came in from backhand right on by Hodgson, but stopped. And then Hodgson took a whack in front of the net. After play had expired.
Well, it almost worked. Steve Ott bearing right down on his stick. He's trying to push that puck straight through to the net. And he fans on it the first time, and the second time, Cody Hodgson just not able to get it in time. He got the shot to the net, but they just ran out of time. It was just a matter here tonight. They got off to a slow start, and they had to battle back all night long. Just tried battling back, and that took just way too much out of you. By the time you get to the end here, you don't have a lot left.
So Buffalo overcomes a 4-1 Dallas lead to get to 4-3, but not enough to get any better than that and drop a 4-3 decision as we head toward Brian Duff.